right, welcome back, everybody. Good to see you here again. Good to spend time with you. It's always very flattering that you choose to spend time with me. You could be doing lots and lots of things, and you choose to be here. So, thank you. Thank you for being here. All right, today we're going to talk about a little bit about travel nursing. Some of the fun things that you see, things that when you live your life on the road, like you would never expect it. Um, So today's story comes from I was heading to a contract in Maine, Saco, Maine. I was going to live in Old Orchard Beach, or OOB as they call it, uh, which was one of my favorite places, one of my favorite contracts of all time. Loved it there. Um, I didn't care as much for the facility as I did the area. I loved the area of Maine. I'll just specify that. Loved Old Orchard Beach. Had the cutest little apartment. It was right there on the beach. Can't wait to go back. That being said, so I leave Arkansas and I'm headed for Maine. Everything seems normal. It's just a long, long drive. And as I'm going through Connecticut, small town, not much around, I was starving to death. I see a sign for this little cafe. So I pull over, I was on the highway instead of the interstate. I like to do the highway drives when I can. I just feel like you can see more. There's more, you see more of the world, the country. So I pull over and find this cafe, and I'm sitting there eating. And while I'm eating, I keep looking across the street, and there's clearly some sort of art demonstration in this little vacant field. I keep thinking, I swear that is a sculpture of a vagina. And I just kept looking at it and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. But the more I looked at it, the more I realized that yes, it has to be a vagina. So I was sitting and watched this stone vagina while I ate my food and drank myself some water. Finished my meal, had a little meatloaf sandwich. There's nothing like eating a meatloaf sandwich while you're staring at a vagina. And I, of course, I venture over. Of course, what else am I gonna do? So as I venture over, there's a little entrance, like it shows like what you're going to be looking at. You know whose exhibit this was, and it was and I'll give her name because I think it's like free marketing, right? I mean, she had it public for everyone to see, but it stated that it was all self portraits of the artist whose name was Judy Sinclair. So I go ahead and I enter. I paid like $5 to walk through. And as I realized, well, walking through, I realized every single painting, every portrait, every watercolor, charcoal, um, there's a stone like clay statue. Every single bit of it was of her vagina. It was 36 pieces of just pussy, just out there. I mean, hey, hate to say it, but I mean, you got 36 capital V's out here. The whole country's getting a steady dose of vitamin V. And man, I'm just over here trying to eat my meatloaf sandwich. But that's it. She did it. She knew what she was doing because I was the first one I ventured over. I was walked through it. I looked at every single picture. And this wasn't some wad of mess. This wasn't some, unattractive, gross thing. This was art. And it was done very tastefully. She had a very lovely vagina. It was like a flower, I guess. I don't know what. It was a lovely thing. It didn't seem trashy, which is odd because I always say I feel like it's a demonstration of how much more powerful a vagina is than a penis. Because let's say that some random sicko goes and just puts like 36 pictures of his dick out in a lot, like just out in a vacant field in town, someone's going to complain. Someone's going to say, hey, that dick's looking at me. This dick looks offensive. Why is that dick aggressive? It seems racist to have this penis is in stone, but these ones are not. There's going to be lots of complaints about it, if there's penises. But for it to be a field of pussy, I mean, it seemed well done. I didn't see a single person complain. I will say, there was a school bus that drove by. It wasn't my art. It wasn't my demonstration. I just saw that it happened. So I don't want to hear it. It wasn't me. Okay. Um, I just always come back in my mind. I think about how much confidence Judy Sinclair has. Like Judy Sinclair literally is one day looking at her vagina and just thought, that's fucking beautiful. Everyone should see this. So she starts just watercoloring, just throwing on some paint, sculpting clay, chiseling the rocks to make these wonderful vaginas. And I don't know. I mean, she put her mind to it, and she did it. Apparently, she did it well. Uh, I don't know if there had been more pictures, paintings, art, vagina art, vaginal art. I don't know what you would call that. Uh, Before I got there, maybe somebody had been buying some. Who's to say? But it was fancy and it was nice. I walked, like I said, looked at every single piece. I've also always wondered, like, maybe somebody was like, maybe she was going through a breakup, and like Steve, like, just up and left her, So, Judy's like, oh no, I'll show you, Steve. I'll show you. You're gonna regret this. I'll make sure everyone sees this. You'll miss it forever. And then just gets out her fucking hammer, chisels out a perfect V job. Uh, there's so many different things that could be the cause of this. But it's in Connecticut. I used to remember the name of the town, but I can't now. I want to say it was like Newborn or Newtown, Newton, something with the word new in it, I believe. Um, but it's in Connecticut, kind of central Connecticut, north central, I guess. But it was once in a lifetime experience, and I can say I've never in my 44 years have I ever met anyone else that has walked through a field of vagina. Not one. Not one. That's a unique experience. And I did that. I like to personally I put it on the list of like magical things I've seen in this country. I mean, I would say probably 50 to 75% of the state parks. I've seen Niagara Falls. I've seen waterfalls and rivers, and I saw fields of vagina. Um, yeah. Who else has seen of that? Lee, if you've seen, let's say, more than 12 V cards at one time, and not want to use sickos on your porn, but and I'm not talking bad. I'm not talking a mess about the sickos. We love sickos here. Be sick. Be a sicko. I'm for it. We're pro sicko. We like the sickos. We like the not sickos. We like the prudes. We like all of them. Uh, we're very inclusive here. It's a platform for everyone. Um, yeah, if you've seen, let's say 12, even, and that's a third, if my math is correct, at one time, tell me down in the comments how it happened, where you were at. Especially if it's a drawing. We're talking about, you know, things that wasn't real in person. It was like more like mythological vagina. I would like an urban legend of vaginas. Like if you were to like a bunch of vaginal whispers, you know, vagina, vagina, something like that. But it's 36, like 36 times of them. Um, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool though. I think it's cool. You may not think it's cool, but we don't all have to be the same. Um, her name was Judy Sinclair. She was a wonderful artist, and it was very well done. The ones that were supposed to look realistic looked very realistic. Some of them were like, what's the word? Where there was like a collage of vaginas on one of them. Um, where like it looks like like if you don't look right at it, you can tell it's a vagina. But like if you're staring right down the pipe, you're like, I don't know what I'm looking at. But then you like back up and kind of look away, and you're like, oh, look at that huge vagina right in front of me. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those out there. I mean, she's just incredible, incredible work. Um, Really, there should be more Judy Sinclairs out there, if you ask me. I spent I might have spent an hour and a half walking around all the vaginas. Um, the sculpture was made like chiseled into like a marble, so like parts of it were super smooth. Um, but it was, as a nurse, I can tell you that it was anatomically, sure, anatomically correct, anatomically correct. Um, yeah. So Judy, she knew what she was doing. She knew her vagina better than anybody did. Clearly. Um, Well, I mean, there may be more people out there now that know it as good as she did, but that was her decision. None of us made her do this, so we're not going to blame her for it. And I don't think it makes Judy Sinclair a sicko either. I don't think so. I think she was artsy. I never saw her. I never saw a picture. I have a picture in my brain of what I think she looks like. I'm not gonna say what I think she looks like. I feel like that's personal between me and Judy and the 36 vaginas. Um, but it's lovely. It's very lovely. But yeah, when you travel, you don't know what you're gonna see. You may see a bighorn ram, or you may see an elk, or a pack or a herd of elves, or you might see just the whole like fluctuation of vagina just in a field. World of a traveler, anything's possible. You never know. Anything could happen. And that's proof. That's proof that not just that anything can happen, but most things will happen, really. So yeah, we're gonna call it Newtown. I think it was Newtown, Connecticut. Don't hold that against me if it's not right. If you are Judy Sinclair, ma'am, fantastic job. You did wonderful. If you're from the town that she's at, you feel free to drop the correct name in the comments. I'd be interested to know. Um, I have tried to find it on the internet, and I will tell you that if you type in Judy Sinclair vagina pictures, you will for sure get a bunch of pictures. None of them were what I was looking for. It was a lot. It was a lot. Uh, so anyways, again, I want to thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you spending time with me. This has been a mildly a big deal, and man, I hope I see you back. You guys have a great day.